Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today to share with you a project update. I'm actually going to be calling this the fourth quarter home stretch update. I believe just earlier this month we filmed our October projects update, and I kind of knew it was earlier in the month, and I did mention in that video that I might be back sometime this month for an update. And now, as you might have seen, the Stitch Pink Sew Along schedule has changed. And so because of that and everything that we've had to move around, I thought, yes, I better definitely come in and do a project update today, because we probably won't share the November project update until more towards the middle of the month with all of the Stitch Pink shuffling. So, and I actually have a lot to share right now too, because of all the cleaning I've been doing in the closet. So let's get started with today's update. So where to begin? I really have a lot to show you today. And as I mentioned earlier, this really is our home stretch for the year. If you follow any, kind of time management or productivity people, everyone's talking about the home stretch and quarter four. And, combined with that is that the holidays are just around the corner. So I'm really grateful that I've been working on cleaning in September and October, so I kind of have an idea of what I have and, what my options are for the rest of the year. So just to start really quickly, this is my Quilting Life block of the month for 2021. I've got it all put together. It's going to the quilter today. This is my large version in our Happy Days fabrics. And I'm actually also today picking up the small version of that. I finished that one earlier and it is finished being quilted. So I'm going to pick that up today and get the binding on that. So you'll be seeing that early December, both of those finished quilts. This is going to be one of those table toppers with the scalloped edges. I just wanted to show you this. I wanted to hurry up and do a fall one for myself. But this is what you do. You sew the patchwork together and you quilt it before you do the scalloped edges. So I've got to get my template out from the pattern and trace the scalloped edges and make my bias binding for this one. This one will be for me. I have also done a Christmas one, and this is in the Hustle and Bustle collection by Basic Gray. I just actually realized that I had a bundle of this in my stash, and so it's kind of a vintagey, I don't know, I guess the best way to describe it is a modern take on vintage Christmas. I feel like the colors kind of take you back, but it's got a modern feel to it. So anyway, this is going to be another one of those scallop toppers, and this one might be a gift as well. I just wanted to show you what I did with that fabric. I had a fat quarter bundle. So what I did was I cut a 5-inch strip off of each fat quarter, and I put them into little sets so that I can do small projects with them. And then I also cut some of them into the 2.5-inch squares, because I think I'm going to do another one of those round toppers. I cut up all the prints in the collection except for, there were 5 that showed the people, the shoppers, and I just thought these would be good to use for backings of small projects. And so I didn't use it on that other topper, but I'm going to make another topper, and I'll probably pick one of these. And I don't know, I just wanted to keep these in a bigger size in case I wanted to use them for something else. But anyway, so I'm working on that. I've also got this bucket of leftovers from my block of the month in Christmas fabrics that, now that I'm done with that quilt, I mean, some of the pieces are just really small, so I've got to go through and decide how I'm going to cut all of these up. Some of them are going to be into charm squares or longer strips. I'll probably leave these bigger pieces as they are, just in case I have any other projects that I want to use them for. But I do want to get this sorted and cleaned up and get this bin emptied so I can use it for something else. So that's something else I'm going to do. This is actually, oh, it's super cute. I thought about using it just for a topper, but I put these squares together. These are from an older Bonnie and Camille Christmas collection called Vintage Holiday. And I actually, this is all I have left, really, of this collection. But I've made a couple of my grandchildren Christmas stockings using these fabrics in the past. And we have a new addition to the family, and I'm making her a stocking. And we will be filming a tutorial for that. So you'll be seeing that really soon. But this is, I just had this quilted, and I'll be cutting out the stocking from this. It's just going to be a really fun tutorial. We'll be filming it in the next couple of weeks. But that's what this is for, if I don't make a new one and use this for a table topper too. So anyway, that's what that is for. And this is an older collection, Vintage Holiday, but they do have a new collection that will be out this spring that looks like it might be really cute with this, and it's definitely cute by itself. It's called Merry Little Christmas. Next up, I have these half square triangles that I need to sew. They're in all different citrines and yellows from our collections. Let's see, I've got some Seashore Drive, some Happy Days. I feel like I have, this is Summer Sweet yellow, and this first one was from Desert Bloom. Anyway, this is a project for a book that's coming out, so I can't really share more than that with you, but since the project is due before Thanksgiving, I have to get a start on it. And so I just got these ready, and I'm going to keep them over by my sewing machine so that I can sew them. And once these are done, I can move on to the pieces that I need for the rest of the blocks. So that's something that I've got to get going on as well. This, I showed you this. This was in one of the Fat Quarter Shop Sew sampler boxes. And I really do want to get one of these bowl cozies made this weekend, because I'm really thinking this might be a really great gift idea. Then I'll know kind of what size bowl I can use with it. And I was thinking it might be just really fun to get some little bowls from Target to put inside of this and just put some Christmas cookies or candy inside. So this is high priority for this weekend. And I'll let you know how these turn out. Okay. Also, I just wanted to let you know, and I mentioned this on my blog post the other day, but the planners are arriving today. So I will be getting all of the pre-orders shipped out. I'm super excited about this. And now that you are able to have them in your hands, you can flip through. And I just wanted to reiterate that we're going to have a lot of content on how to use this that we'll be sharing at the first of the year, and probably at the end of December too, kind of in that week between Christmas and New Year's, I think is when we'll post our first video content about this. But my copies are arriving today, and they should be arriving everywhere else shortly as well. So super excited about that. Now, these next couple things I'm going to show you are things that I found while I was cleaning up and sorting through things that I found in the closet. This one, oh, there's two. Yeah, this top one is a little embroidery that I did several years ago. I had almost forgotten about it. It was from a Sarah Jane stitchery pattern, and I'll link it if it's still available. I'm not sure if she still has this in her shop or not, but I really want to make this into a little pillow. And so I'm going to go through my scraps and find some Sherri and Chelsea fabrics that will, and whether I just go with all blues and aquas or add in a few pinks, I'm just going to kind of play with this and get this quilted, because I'd rather have it on a shelf in my sewing room than just in a drawer in the closet. And then I also found this stitchery that I did quite a while ago. I don't know why I never finished this. I did the embroidery, I framed it with fabric. And so I'm thinking too, this would be a cute little pillow. So I'm probably just gonna do some really simple hand quilting, just straight lines, maybe around here, and then one in the border. So probably just 3 little rectangles of hand quilting, and then I'll finish this in a pillow and stick it somewhere for Christmas. Because again, why is it in my drawer? I'm not sure about that. I also found this. This is really interesting. This is also something I did quite a while ago, and these really are not my colors now, and I don't know where the fabrics are for these. I looked, I found this, but I couldn't find, I'm sure I must have had more fabrics or kit, you know, but what I decided to do is I am just going to take this to the quilter today and have her quilt it, because I think this will make a great wall hanging. And I just wanted to point this out because you don't always have to finish everything the way that you started it. I'm super excited to be able to just take this to her. I don't even think I'm going to put a border on it. I think I'm just going to let the binding be the frame, and it'll be a really nice size to put maybe above the headboard in the guest room. Anyway, I'm just going to get it quilted and bind it and count this finished. And if I ever do find the other fabrics, I'll decide what to do with those then, but I'll have another project finish and out of my unfinished objects drawer. So I was super excited to find this. I didn't realize that I had sewn these together. I did another quilt by the same designer that I did finish and that hangs downstairs in my family room. But anyway, so this is just a project for me. I'm going to take it to the quilter today, and I'll show you this when it's done too. Pretty excited about that. Okay, next up, when I was cleaning, I found some Christmas flannels. This one was from Bonnie and Camille, and these others, I think they're all Riley Blake. But I had these, and so I was going to see if I could make some pillowcases. This big one is, I know I have enough yardage for a pillowcase for this one. I did pillowcases for the grandchildren a couple years ago. I think I might have one or two that don't have one, for sure the newest one. So, and these can be used for borders. So I'm going to find something to do with these because I feel like I'm never going to get anything to coordinate with these, and so I might as well use this up and make some little Christmas projects. This would also make a good backing for a stocking. So we'll see what I end up using these for. But I want to get these used and out of the closet. And then the last thing I'm going to, oh, actually I have 3 more things to share with you today. In my closet I found, let me show you this. So this, it says Farmer's Wife. And so there were a few different Farmer's Wife book quilt patterns available. And the first one, the original Farmer's Wife book, I did in fig tree fabrics. And I made a king-size quilt, and I'll find a picture of that and we'll pop that up on the screen. But after that, I had started the Farmer's Wife 1930 sampler quilt, and I didn't get very far along with this. I have it in this bin. I have the book. I started making it in Denise Schmidt fabrics, and this has been so long ago. Let me just kind of flip through some of these blocks. When I found them and started looking at them the other day, I love these blocks. I want to finish this quilt, and I think I want to finish it in these fabrics. So I'm going to make a plan. This is honestly going to be a 2022 project. I know I won't get to this before the end of the year, but I think I will be able to go through and kind of gather some fabrics and put them all in one place, so I can continue working on these. And I've also got to figure out which blocks these are. I don't feel like I went in order, but I think from here on out I'll go in order for the book. So anyway, just really fun blocks. And I have in here, I even have, templates that I purchased for this. So anyway, I've got everything in here to make this except the other fabrics. So this is really going on my list for 2022 because I really do want to finish this project. Okay, 2 more things that I'm going to show you, and let me grab them and show them right now. Okay, this I'm showing you because I think, and again, I might get this started. I might get it started now, but this is a project that I'm definitely not going to finish until 2022. But I want to show it to you because my friend Lisa Alexander is doing a sew-along right now. And she's doing a Christmas version of this, and it's not too late to join in. I have mentioned it on my blog a couple of times. She's got some videos that she's done, and she's guiding you week by week. She's also taking Thanksgiving off, so that's a bonus. But she originally she originally published this quilt in American Patchwork and Quilting, and they did a sew-along several years ago, and I participated in it, and I used all American Jane scraps. And I just love this quilt. It's really like the perfect kids quilt, and so I've just have had this for years, but I really love it. I love the chain that goes through it, and I love how you can use all your scraps. And I was super excited that Lisa then published this in her Oh Scrap quilt book. So you can get the pattern for it in this book. I think I'm going to do a fall version. I'm making a king size quilt right now with all of our fabric collections with the honey bun tutorial that we shared about a year ago, and that's great. I need a spring quilt, but I really have been wanting to do a fall king size quilt, and so I think I'm going to use this pattern, make it bigger, and I think I might even use, you know, the Cozy Up fabrics. I've got a fat quarter bundle and some other pieces of this, and so I'm thinking that these lights would be really good. I can probably even combine some of our fabrics maybe with it. And so this is a 2022 project for sure, but I also think I want to kind of get all the supplies gathered together so that I can start working on it. Okay, I've got one more thing to show you, and I originally showed you this in my September video, and it just came back from the quilter, and I want to just point out a couple things about it. Okay, I wanted to show this to you. I just got this back from the quilter, and this is one of those panels. It's a full-size panel, so you know, these quilt blocks, looks like quilt blocks on the edge, were not pieced by me. They're just part of the panel. My quilter Val did such a beautiful job on this. She quilted these like they really were quilt blocks, you know, like this really was a flying geese unit, and so she did something different in all of the little blocks around the edge of the quilt, and she did these darling little holly leaves and swirls in the little border. But what I really, really love when I saw what she did with the center, doing the feathers, you know, and these swirls, it's just so beautiful. It's probably really hard to tell, but she also cross-hatched. So she went on all these dark lines on all of these. And so the entire background is cross-hatched. And then also like the words peace on earth, she also just kind of outlined that. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. This we're going to hang in our front entryway for the holidays. It's just going to be so much fun, and I will link to these panels because they're still available. And even if you don't do something as custom as this, it's really a great, you know, it can be a great lap quilt, it can be a great decor piece, and really a great gift because you don't have to piece the entire quilt, you just have to get the panel quilted. Okay, so that's it. I have some decisions to make. You know, I told you some of these things might not happen until 2022. Some of these things definitely have to happen before the end of the year, but it's good to map it all out and see what you really have time for. I don't want to try to do more than I have time for, even if that means not making as many of the things. I want to just really enjoy this holiday season. I think the last couple of years have taught us all how important it is just to enjoy life. And so, you know, I love to get things done and I love to finish them, but I also want to be really intentional about how I spend my holidays this year. So kind of, you know, the holiday projects that I don't finish up in October or early November will just get set aside for 2022. But also I want to have things ready to go for 2022. Okay, so that's it for today's project update video. As you have seen, I have a lot of decisions to make about what I'm going to work on throughout the home stretch of 2021, and some of these things I might possibly push forward into early 2022. But it'll be fun going through everything and deciding, as I mentioned earlier. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit the like button. Thanks so much for stopping by.